Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Data Analytics with Career Guidance course. Today, we are in day 7 of SQL Server Training. Today, we'll learn about joins, union all, intersect, and except queries. All right. So what I'll do, I'll go to this SQL Server, and then quickly we'll import the data. I have some data set here, which I'll be sharing it with you after the session. For join table, I have one data set, and for appending, that is union all, intersect and except. So I have one more data set. So what we'll do, we'll just try to import these data sets and then we'll start working on the queries. So how to import the data? We'll go here. We have one wizard where we can actually import the data, that is import and export. Next, go to this data source. My data source is in Excel. Browse. Go to the folder. We'll take this join table. So next, then let's take our database. Next, then copy data from one or more table. Next, we'll select these two tables. Then say finish. All right. So let's take the other table as well so that we can start writing all the queries at once. Again, we'll do the same thing. We'll go to this import, select the source, and then we select the database. Next, let's select on the tables required, and then say finish. Correct. Let's say close. All right. So if you go here, in our database, we have these tables. Append table 1, table 2, table 3, join table 1, join table. Let me just remove this dollar sign. If all it is there, just remove it, or you can use that as well. Just remove and I'll just have a number. So that is easy for us to write the queries. Okay. Now, let's understand about joins. Let me take a notepad. Then here, it's joins. In SQL, we have a concept of joins. So what is this joins? Let me tell you. When I go to this data, I have two tables. If you want to get the data, let's say, for example, I have this order ID, segment, ship mode, and sales in one table. And in second table, we have order ID, region, category, subcategory, and quantity. Now, if you want to get all this data into this table, we write a query or we write a formula, that is we look up and then we'll get the data. Let's say like this equals we look up of order ID, comma, then I'll select the entire table like this. And suppose if you want region, I'll say 2, 0. Let me copy this down. You can see wherever I have that ID, so I'll get the data. Wherever the IDs are not there, then I'll get this NA. That means if the IDs are matching, then I'll get the values. Otherwise, I'll not get the values. So in this table, if you see, I have 001 up to 015 as common. 016 to 025, I don't have the data. Same thing if you go to this joint table 2, here I have this 001 up to 015 as the common data, and 1012, 110, we don't have the data. Right. Now, we'll try to work same thing in SQL query aspect. In joins, SQL Server has got 4 type of joins. What is that? Inner join, left join, right join, full outer join. Inner join, left join, right join, join here. Now, what is inner join? Inner join means I have 2 tables. In these 2 tables, whichever is common, you can see that I have 001 up to 015 is common. So we'll get only 15 records. That is, whichever is common, only those records we'll get. Left join means whichever table I've taken first. Let's say I've taken table 1 as my first table. In that, I'll get all the IDs. And only those data which is common from second table, only that I'll get. Rest all will be null like this. Similarly, a right table, that is right join. All the records from this table, that is table 2, and only those records which are common will come from first table, that is we have 15 records, the rest will be null records. Outer join, full outer join, I'll get all the records and I'll get the common 15 records, and the rest 10 records from each table will be null. I'll show you how to write the queries on this, and also we'll see how the result will come when we join 2 tables. Let's go to this SQL Server. I'll take new query. So first what we'll do is we'll say use right. Let's first select data from both the tables. Okay. Join table 1, and then I'll take the data from table 2. Now you see, I have written query for selecting the data from both the tables. I'll say execute. Let's study the data. So here you can see I have order ID segment shift mode, and here you can see I have the same data what we saw in Excel. I have the data here. I want to combine table 1 and table 2. So when I join, so we have seen in Excel also that is 001 up to 015 is common. So these two will be combined, and these 2 tables will be combined. And if I take the joins, 15 records are common. So we should get the records accordingly. Now what we'll do, we'll say select star from, I'll take this table, that is table 1. So this is the query what we had written in the beginning. Now I'll get, if I execute this, I'll get all the 25 records from table 1. But my intention is I need to get the columns from table 2 as well. When I want to get the data from table 2, then what I'll do, I'll try to join. So how to join is what we have to think. Now I want only those records which are common. So what I'll do, I'll go here and I'll type inner join to get only common records. I'll go here, I'll say inner join. When I say inner join, it lasts for which table to take. Now I have table 2. So what we'll do, we'll take table 2. That is join table 2. Now if you see the syntax, select I've used star from table 1, the type of join, and on which table we are joining. Then we should give on which column we are trying to join two tables. On join table 1 dot order ID equals join table 2 dot order ID. Now, if you see the syntax, select star from table 1. This will be my left table. Keep in mind, the first table what I use, that is left table, the type of join, and the right table on which column I'm trying to join, that is order ID is the column. Now let me select this. I'll say FI. You can see I'm getting all the records from both the tables with all the columns. See, order ID, segment, ship mode, sales, order ID, region, category, subcategory, quantity. We just scroll down, we have 15 records only. That means only those records which are common will be extracted. Now, what we have done here is I've used star. Now, let's see how we can extract only specific columns from both the tables. See, I'll take this query. The joins are same, but I need to take the columns here. Instead of the star, now I want to take specific columns. I want to take order ID from first table. So I have to use join table 1 dot order ID. If you see, in the previous queries, I was not using this table name. Directly I used to take this columns. That is because when I have only one table, that means we are extracting the data from that particular table. So the query will not be bothered from which table to take the data, because already it is specified that it is from only one table. Now, if you see this join table 1, that means specifically I'm taking this order ID from table 1. Now, I'll go here, I'll say join table 1 dot segment. Join table 1 dot sales. Now I'll take join table 2 dot order ID, comma, join table 2 dot, let me take region, comma, join table 2 dot quantity. Let me select this, and if I execute this, now I'm getting only specific columns. So if I give star, that means all the columns from both the tables. When I want to extract the columns specific from each table, then I have to give the table names here. Like, all right. So if you understand this concept, that is extracting the columns with what type of joins I'm using, on which column I'm using, joins are very easy. So if you learn this syntax, rest all the joins are similar. Only thing is you have to just change the join type. Now, if you just observe this, I have taken 6 columns here. Then I'm joining the table by using this inner join to get only common values. Now, what if I want to do some calculation? We can still do the calculation as well. We can apply the formulas, whatever we have learned, the functions, everything can be applied. Now, let's say I want to get total sales. I'll say join table 1 sales multiplied by join table 2 quantity. And here, let's say total sales. You can see that I've taken data from sales and from let me select this sales and quantity I've taken from the respective tables. I named it as total sales. Now if I say execute, you can see the sales and quantity is multiplied and I'm getting data here. All right. So now we understood that how we can join. We can also do some calculations. We can apply the functions as well. I'll show you even that. So first let's understand the different type of joins. Right. Now let me copy this. Go here. Right. Now my requirement is I want all the data, that is all the 25 records from left table, that is join table 1, and only those records which are there, which are common from table 2. See, the entire queries will be same. Only thing is I'll change this inner join to left join. That's it. When I change this to left join, the type of join will change. All the records from left table, okay, will be extracted, and only those records which are there from the right table, that is right table. In this case, it is join table 2 will be extracted. Only the common values, the common IDs. Select, execute. Now I got the records. I can see there are 25 records extracted. I'll go here. You can see 001 up to 025. But if you see 016 to 025, it is null. Right? So this is how actually we can extract the data. Joins always depends on my requirement. Depending on the requirement, you have to use the joins. That's it. Nothing else. Joins are the syntax for joins are same. Only thing is the requirement will change. If you want only common records, I'm using inner join. If you want all the records from any of the tables, then you have to think about left join or right join. Now let's say I want all the records from second table, that is right table. Just change this to right. That's it. Now if you go here, select and say Fi, you can see I'm getting all the records from second table. It is up to 15, the ID 50, you'll get all the records, but from 101 to 110, there is no matching record, so I'll get this null records, the null value. What if I take outer join and copy this? If my requirement is to take entire data from both the tables, all the records, then I'll say full outer join. Let me select this and I'll say Fi. And see, I'm getting full outer join. 15 records will have the complete records. Then 10 records from each table, you'll get null values. All right. So this is called as joins. There are so many things what we can do in this joins as well. That is, we can apply where conditions, we can apply grouping functions and any other functions as well. Let's try that. Let's go here. I'll go to this inner join. Usually the common joins, what we use is inner join. I go here, paste it. Now, if I execute, I'll get the records here. I want to filter all the records which are from West region. I want to use where condition. Go here. All these clauses should come after we extract the data. In the previous queries, we extracted say from, and then after that we used to use this where clause, but now we are trying to join. So we have to use after the joins. Where? Now, when I use this region, I have to use with the table name equals the best. Select F1. See, only best. Suppose if you want to filter based on numbers, exactly same thing like what we do with the single table query, same thing we can do here also. Let's say quantity is greater than, let's say 50. Not sure how many records will come. I'm just giving one criteria. Right? See. So likewise, I can actually use the criteria. All right. Can I use sorting? Yes, we can use sorting as well. That is order by. Let me select data. We can use order by after this extraction. Order by. Let's say I want to sort the data by quantity. And I'll just take this quantity. We can decide ascending or descending order. Let's say I want descending. Let me select this and say F5. You can see that the data is sorted based on quantity field, that is descending order. Right? So we can apply the filters, that is where clause. We can apply the order by. We can use group by as well. Let's see. Go here. We select the entire query. Group by will take the common value. So what we'll do is, let's say I want the data based on segment. So what we'll do, we'll take only segment column. I'm just taking only segment column. And sales and quantity. Let me remove all this. Okay. All right. So here we should use group by. The column what I have taken for grouping is segment. And now these two columns are numbers. So I have to use aggregate function. I'll say sum as total sales. And here we'll say sum of as total quantity. Now we see the data is coming from different tables. So I've taken segment and I need to group that. So I've used that column in group by. And I'm using this sum, the aggregate function from table 1 and sum the quantity from table 2. Now let me execute this. See, I'm getting the segment and the total sales of each column. So exactly like whatever we use, the clause, it can be where clause, having clause, order by, group by, anything that I'll be using, in the single queries. Same thing I'll be using single table queries. I'll be using same thing for multiple table queries, that is for joins as well. But only difference is we need to use the queries, that is clause, after this combining of multiple tables. So if you understand this logic, for any queries, you can use any of the clause. You can also combine. So what we do, that is where clause, and after that I say order by. So where will come after, before order. Then if you want to group, then again it will come before group, order by, and then group. And after that we'll have this order. So likewise, whatever we write the queries for single table, same thing we can use for multiple tables. So this is called as joins. Joins means, in a very simple way, joins means combining more than one table and then extracting the data. Then what all you'll have to keep in mind whenever I'm trying to join, make sure that you'll understand what type of join I need. That is, what type of data I'll be extracting. Say, how do I need to extract the data? Whether I need to extract only common records or extract all the records from each table. If you understand that, then you'll have to decide whether it should be inner join, left join, right join, or full outer join. If I want only common records, then use inner join. If you want all the data from left table and only common records from right table, then use left join. I want all the records from right table and only common records from left table, then use right join. Full outer join, I want all the records and I'll get complete records for the tables, that is each tables, and then we also get other records which is not common, but still we get this null records. So depending on the type of records, what I'm the extraction type, use the joins. And again, make sure that you use this table name dot the field name, so that it is easy for the query to understand from which table we are trying to extract the data. Okay. All right. So what we did now is to extract the data, that is combine two different tables. Similarly, we have something called as union and union OR. This is also used for merging two tables, but here we use it for appending of the data. So what is appending? The word appending means adding the data one below the other. Now I have some tables here. Say select start from append table one. Same thing. I'll just copy this. There are three tables: table one, table two, and table three. So I have given this name like this. It will be easy for us to understand and also work on the queries. Say fi. I have three tables now. You can see this is table one, table 2, and table 3. Now let's understand how the data is actually available. Say row ID, order ID, all these columns are similar in all the three tables. Now appending means taking the data from all the tables and combining one below the other. Since I have the data here, common, say, see the tables, all the columns are same. So what I'll do, let's say I want to append just this for time being. Say I want to append table 1 and table 2. Okay, I'll just copy these two queries and here I'll say union. That's all. Just put union here, select and say F1. See, in table 1, I have 10 records. See, in table 2, I have 15 records. In table 3, I have 25 records. So table 1, 10 records, then table 2, 15 records, table 3, it is 25 records. Altogether, it should be 50 records. So table 1 and table 2 has got 25 records. I'll go here, I'll say FI, you can see that I have 25 records. Now suppose if you want to append table 3 as well, then just go here and here I'll say union. Say FI, you can see that I'm getting 50 records. That is one below the other. You can see the row ID as well. We can change the order as well. I'll say 3. Here I'll say. Now if I select this and say FI, you can see that 1, 2, 10. Again, you can see all the records are coming in. So it is getting sorted here. So you can check this. It is getting appended here. Right. Now, let's go here. I will try to use the same queries, but this time you just observe we have 50 records, but I'm actually taking all the columns and getting 50 records. Now what I'll do, I'll take only specific columns. Let's say we'll take ship mode, comma, customer name, comma, segment. I've taken only 3 columns. I want only these 3 columns to be combined. I'll take same thing, I'll say table. Totally, if I append these two tables, say, just table 3. Now, if I just combine these two, F5, we get 25 records. Now, if I run this query, I'll say union here, and I'll select this. We say F5. According to the first query, I should get 25 records. Let me just run this. So I'm getting only 13 records, not 25 records. Why? I'll tell you. In this case, when I run F5, you can see I am getting 25 records. The reason is when I use this union, it will combine only with common records. It will remove all the duplicate records. But when I use, in this query, if you see, I had this row ID, which actually makes the entire record unique. The combination of all the columns, that will be one record. So when it is actually combining, it is taking even the row ID as well. The entire record was unique. But in this case, if you just go and check this, say FI, I have this ship mode customer name segment. There were some duplicate values. See, let me just go here. FI, I can see that all the common values will be removed. That means only unique values will be taken. Let me select this. if I can see that I'm getting only 13 records. That means only 13 records are unique with the combinations. But suppose if I remove this segment, let's say I'll write one more query. I will remove segment. Then if I combine, see, still I have 13 records. I think let me see if I remove this customer name. See, it got reduced. The combination of these two columns are getting reduced because we have only 5 records which are common. So this is union. Now suppose I want to get all the records, even the duplicate records as well. Then what I'll do is I'll go here, I'll say union all. When I say union all, I'm selecting this, I'll say FI. In this case, I'll get 50 records because whether it is unique or not unique, it is taking all the records. Now let me go to this query. Same thing. I want all the records, including the duplicate values as well. I'll go here, say union all. Now I'll select this FI. You can see 25 rows. That means even if it is duplicate, also no problem. It is actually taking 25 records. Let me take table 3 as well. Here, I'll say union. Execute. I'll get, sorry, table 3. F5, see I'm getting 50 records. But same thing if I add table 3 here, I'm getting only 7 records. So you have to understand union means it will append the data, but only unique values. That is combination of all the columns. If you want all the records, irrespective of whether it is duplicate or unique, then use union. Apart from this, we have 2 more operators. That is, we have intersect and accept. Let me select this. Let's say intersect. In this, what happens? All the common values, whatever is there. Okay, I'm saying in this case, I don't have any matching values. Intersect means both which are matching, only that records will be taken. So what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll take this. There must be some common values. Let me just keep this query as is. The reason is we have this row, say the row ID, which makes the entire records unique. Go here. Take here. See which are common. See, this one record is common in these two queries. So which are actually common. Now let me go here. I will just remove one of the columns. Let's say we'll remove this customer name. Now these two records are common. All right. Now, accept. Select F5. This accept, what it will do is it will take all the records from table 1 only, which are not matching with table 2. The combination of this, here you can see whatever values are there from ship mode, customer name, and segment, which are not common in table 2, that will be available. So we have union, which will give me the combination of all the records with the unique records only. Union all, irrespective of whether it is common or not, it will take all the values. And intersect, what it will do is it will just see which are common in both the tables, only that records will be taken. And accept, what it will do is it will take all the uncommon, that is, which are not available in table 2, only those records will be taken from table 1. So this is the joins. This is how we can actually append the data. That is from multiple tables, how we actually extract the data. So this is very useful when you're actually working on multiple tables. So these joins, okay, whenever you work on any of the projects, usually we don't get the data in one single table. So it will be like available in multiple tables. These tables, if you want to combine, make sure that you will join accordingly when you want to combine that based on the columns, or append the data if the columns are common from both the tables, or you can extract the columns by using the select queries, and then you can use it. That is union, union all, intersect, and accept. Okay. All right. So this is what I have for today. That is joins, union, union all, intersect, and accept. Now I'll take 1 minute of yours. Tell me how was today's session, and then I'll take the questions quickly. Right. Good. Thank you so much, all of you. Shows you people have understood today's topic. All right. Okay. Now the questions. If you have any questions, please ask me. I will answer. Sir, I want XYZ column, but I don't know which table it is. Is there any way to find XYZ in which table it is? Bharat, see, one way what you have to do is you have to go and use the select queries. Okay, specifically, you cannot go and search for but that kind of columns. So you have to know, because you are the one who will be creating the tables. Okay, so make sure that you'll understand all the columns. You will study all the columns, and you'll remember all the columns. That is how actually you should work on database. Otherwise, it will become very difficult. So you have to remember all the columns, because you are the one who will be creating the tables. Thanks, Gangadhar. Order quantity is null. We have to write a query, say which is not equals to null, and we can ignore it. Otherwise, you'll get 0. That's it. Right. Any other questions? Right. So thank you so much, all of you. And tomorrow we'll learn little more advancing, that is how to use this constraints, primary key, foreign key. Okay, these kind of things, which is much more required for joins. So whenever I'm using these joins, we need to have one common column from both the tables. And we'll also see how these IDs, okay, should be available in master table, transition table, and more other tables. How we can use the constraints. We'll understand. Okay. Right. So have a great day, people. See you guys in the next session. Take care, all of you. Bye bye.